Hey guys, it's Prince Rich with Rich Technology Group, and I'm also joined by my wonderful co-host, Sunita Allister. What's going on, Sunita?
I'm good, Prince. Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, we're going to talk about one of your favorite things that you like to talk about today. We're going to talk about Dialpad. First and foremost, a notable mention. This article is actually from UC Today, who I still consider them like the definitive go-to for like everything business phone systems or UCAS, CCAS, contact center news. And this article from UC Today, which is pretty fresh, it's from August the 16th of 2023. And right now we're at the very end of August. This says Dialpad launches GPT trained on 5 billion minutes of conversation data. Fun fact, I actually know a little more about this than I should because for those of you who may or may not know, we have an ongoing series going on right now with Dialpad. We're basically doing one video a month showcasing Dialpad's 12 months of AI, where they basically are releasing one new feature each month for the next 12 months. And so in talking with their marketing team and their engineers, I found out that they had been working on this before ChatGPT was even released. So they're calling this thing basically Dialpad GPT. I think it uses a little bit of ChatGPT on some of its backbone, but for the most part, this is Dialpad's patented licensed thing. This is your proof that they are ahead of the game because they've been working on this even before ChatGPT was even announced or even public. So let's read on here. So this says Dialpad is launching Dialpad GPT, joining the likes of ChatGPT, Bard, Einstein GPT, Slack GPT, and more. It is a domain-specific large language model, also known as LLM, that it calls the first to be specifically designed to cater to the changing needs of modern businesses. Dialpad GPT was built over 5 years and uses real-time generative AI based on 5 billion minutes of proprietary conversational data to automate tasks and improve customer service, sales, and recruiting experiences for businesses of all sizes. It goes on to further say that Dan O'Connell, Chief AI and Strategy Officer at Dialpad, commented on the release, saying, LLMs are only as accurate and strong as the data they are trained on. I'm going to speak on that a little bit further, and I like that, and I'll explain. Dialpad GPT was purpose-built for enterprise and addresses businesses' common qualms with existing LLMs. So, let's talk about this a little bit, Sunita. I like what I've heard already. So first and foremost, I dig it. You and I already know when it comes to business phone systems and AI, Dialpad has consistently, as of the time of this video, crushed our competition. When we look at like contact center comparisons that look at, I've personally worked with contact centers and call centers and medium-sized businesses where AI has been a big focal point for why they're looking to choose a specific phone system. And even when they look at other providers, I've had some look at as high as 7 different quotes and had Dialpad in the mix. They almost always choose Dialpad when AI is one of their biggest necessities. Not the only thing that they need, but it's one of their biggest focal points. So you and I both know where Dialpad stands when it comes to the AI game. The one thing that I like about what I just read in there about it is using the businesses who use this Dialpad GPT, it's using their conversational data and their analytics to basically machine learn and basically become sharper and basically adapt more. I like this, and I'll explain why. I've been asked by many different businesses, Prince, how come you don't use Chat GPT with your website or in your business model more? And while I use it for some things outside of our website, the reason I refuse to incorporate it into our website is because, and I say this shamelessly, I have zero control over what ChatGPT says or where it sources its data. Wherever it sources its data, I know one thing is for sure. I don't know where it sources all its data. I don't think anybody does. But one thing is for sure. It's not sourcing it based on, as the TV shows say, the views and opinions of Rich Technology Group. And I get that. What I like about what this article has just explained about how Dialpad GPT works is it is using existing businesses' data. Meaning, for example, if you and I were using Dialpad internally and we were incorporating Dialpad GPT, it would be using conversations that I'm having with customers, listening to my conversations, listening to my trainings with you and our sales team, listening to your consultations with customers. And it's learning based on Rich Technology Group, based on our way of doing business and our way of how we work with our customers. This I really like because everybody seems so fast to just dump ChatGPT into their business. But again, a very smart person who is a consultant and also a friend of mine that I know really well named Kat Coleman once said to me, yeah, ChatGPT is great and all, but nobody's asking the big question of who decides whether if ChatGPT says, okay, Prince, peanut butter is better on a sandwich than jelly is on a sandwich. Who is deciding that? Who is deciding if peanut butter is better than jelly or jelly is better than peanut butter? Who decides that? I don't know. But that's kind of always been my concern with ChatGPT is like people are flocking to it, but ChatGPT or whoever has created it or whatever the master source has been considered is what is deciding it's right. But I like what Dialpad is doing in where they have created a GPT of their own that is using their customers' data to further create better decision making and better analytics and better outcomes because I mean, that's the better way, you know. Now we're going down the AI rabbit hole, which this is what I want to do. Does that make sense? And what is your thoughts on this? Here's the question I have for you. It's a two-part question. What is your honest thoughts on this, on Dialpad GPT and Dialpad releasing this? And then the second part of the question is what is your thoughts or qualms or quarrel or agreement in Dialpad creating their own GPT versus just using ChatGPT?
Well, again, it's just like who decides that we only have to use just Chat GPT? And if someone, a provider is already working with AI since almost 5 years, they have this experience that people like us, they really, appreciate the idea of them, how they bring AI into VoIP, how they bring AI into a system where businesses can take advantage of it in a
Yeah.
very controlled manner. So if something is introduced in the market, to be very honest, Prince, I am not really a very huge fan of just falling for that thing.
Just flocking to it, yeah.
Just exactly where everybody is going, I really do not want to just go towards that direction. Instead of that, I just want to just explore more about it, know more about it. And I really always ask myself, do I need it? No, definitely I do not need that.
Yeah.
So again, the same questions goes for people who are just like, oh, if Chat GPT is introduced, who needs AI or some Chat GPT from Dialpad? To be very honest, it's you. I mean, it's not that something is introduced, something is just like, kind of so much talks in the market. So is TikTok, so is dancing app, so is the AI, editing app. So you cannot just be on all the platforms at the same time. Like I cannot be there. I do not have time and I do not want to bring my pets on the platform. Someday I just do that, but I do not want to be a TikTok star or something because everybody else is doing that.
Yeah.
So same goes for something. This is actually a basic example, not a personal attack on TikTok or some other applications. This is just some random example that even a child can understand that you do not need what everybody else is doing or they have it. So it's just again comes to the point where if someone asks me that why I need Chat GPT or why I need something from Dialpad, if Chat GPT is introducing it, already has introduced it, or I can just get that. So when people come to me and they ask me that why I need this provider when I can have this one. So I always tell them, this is your need. You have explained everything to me, and that is the reason you fall in this criteria and you're being suggested this provider that is
Yeah.
going to be a suitable fit. So everything in the market, everything on Google, everything which is introduced newly and which is just like so-called very cool in the market, you do not need that. You have to understand that what you actually need and what actually
Yeah.
suits best.
It has to be useful. I mean, you just hit
It
it
has
right
to
on the
be
head.
useful.
Like, I have a Chat GPT account for the company. You probably didn't even know that. I don't use it very often, but every now and again I'll use it for some things. Like, probably the two biggest things I use it for, if I'm trying to come up with a YouTube video title name and I can't figure out how to get the wording just right, I'll ask ChatGPT, can you give me a suggestion on how to best word this title? And then I may ask for keyword suggestions or something. That's about it. But I notice, like what you said, a lot of people flock to it just because it's the thing. But what I'm hinting at more is, perfect example. Once, just for a silly test, I went on our corporate ChatGPT account and I asked ChatGPT, is Rich Technology Group, are they or are they not one of the top phone system consultants on the market. Now, we already know we are. We already know we are from Google ranking and YouTube ranking and all that and being at the top of the algorithm. I'm not saying we're the best thing on the planet, but we know we're in like the top quadrant of most sought after consultants for business phone systems. So I thought I already know this because we get the clientele, we get the views, we get whatever to justify that. But let me ask ChatGPT. And ChatGPT was like, I'm sorry, I don't know of anything called Rich Technology Group. And that made me wonder, who decides that? I mean, ChatGPT made it almost as if we didn't exist. Google knows we exist. Our videos come up at the top. Even our blog comes up at the top of the page on many, many articles. We come up at the top on many, many videos. So Google and the internet obviously knows we exist, but ChatGPT is talking like, who is Rich Technology Group? We don't know what that is. And so this is why I think it's brilliant that Dialpad is not doing like everybody else is doing and just flocking to ChatGPT, which is coming up with answers with whoever knows where they're coming from and who's in control of that. But instead, Dialpad has created something where it's like, okay, we're going to give you a GPT that's powered, a phone system that's powered by a GPT-based AI that is using your data, your business, to further improve your results and give you answers and give you insight versus going to ChatGPT, which is like, I'm sorry, we don't know what, XYZ widgets company down the road is, or we don't know what this startup fitness center is. We only know what Crunch Fitness is, or Walmart is, or Amazon is, because these are the big things. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
So, for those of you watching, I know Sunita and I are kind of going down the robotic AI rabbit hole. We're getting into a bit of into a paradox at this point. We're like going into a paradox like AI rabbit hole at this point. But I think this is smart on their part because I feel like a GPT that has been specifically designed to listen, collect data, analyze, and present results and outcomes and solve equations and solutions based on your business and your interactions with your clients, your business's variables, environments, ups and downs. I think that is 50 times more valuable than using a global GPT that is just pulling from all this data from God knows what, that is being sourced from God knows who. Does that make sense? I think this is a really smart move on Dialpad's part. And I think that small, medium, and even larger enterprises will find more value out of something like that has been custom tailored to learn based on their business than just a chat GPT that is listening to everything and just giving you answers based on the highest probability or what's the most trendy thing in the market or whatever. That's all I got to say. Any closing statements on this, Sunita?
Well, in the end, what I would like to say to everybody who's watching us, that this is not a statement or something, just a thought for the day that I'm leaving you with, that life is too short. There is something that you need, but there are things that you want. So there's a difference between all of them. And you cannot just have everything you want. You just need to have those things. You must have those things that you need and require to have a very beautiful and simple life. And that is it. I mean, you don't have to just going with the flow always, like when it comes to something AI, something happening in the market. So enjoy the life. Yeah. Don't get worried about what you don't have.
Yeah. Sunita's right. Basically what she's saying is AI is great and all, but life is short. And I think sometimes we take ourselves too seriously. And then on top of that, it's like, it's like how simple life was before all this AI stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong. The AI stuff does make life easier in certain aspects, but it's like, I feel like it was also simpler before people thought they needed all this stuff too. I don't know. Yeah. So this is to you guys, the viewers. Now Sunita and I are showing our age because some of you young folks are probably watching us like, what the heck are they talking about? But anyways, so thank you for being here as always, Sunita, and for your input. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Prince.
And for those of you who are watching, if you're interested in Dialpad, you can probably tell and probably guess because I'm wearing a Dialpad shirt. I mean, Sunita and I work with Dialpad on almost a regular daily basis. Me and her and our sales team. If you're interested in Dialpad and what it can do for your business, we don't charge anything. Our consulting is free to consult with you and ask questions and find out more about your business. What your business does, what your business needs by way of phone systems or communication solution. And then we can tell you whether we think Dialpad is a fit or not. And then even if you're still not convinced, we can connect you up with our contacts at Dialpad that will show you a customized demo based on your business and give you access to our special pricing. So be sure to hit us up first if you're interested in Dialpad. As always, this is Prince Rich and Sunita Allister, your go-to folks at Rich Technology Group for the best deals on business phone and internet service in the United States. We'll catch you guys again in the next video.